This was always going to be a pretty interesting video to talk about because today, for the next part of my 2024 projection series, we're going to do another group video, but this time we're going to focus on the bench. This is Jake from You Love to See It. I appreciate you stopping by. Once again, this is the 2024 projection series where we talk about the 2023 stats of everyone who's projected to be on a 26-man roster, look at their Zips projections for 2024, and then we talk about it. We're talking about the bench players today, and that would be Seby Zavala, Dylan Moore, and Sam Haggerty. The reason I say it's going to be interesting is because none of these guys are going to be star players from us. We're really going to just analyze this from the sense of, is this an okay person to have on the bench? First, we're going to talk about Seby Zavala, who is our backup catcher. We acquired him in the Eugenio Suarez trade from the Arizona Diamondbacks. In 2023, Seby Zavala had a line of 193 plate appearances, a slash line of 171, 230, 545 for 7 home runs, a 45 WRC plus, and 0.2 FWAR. So pretty much on the offensive side, an absolute black hole last year, which I know is not something we want to see. However, once again, we are evaluating this from a bench perspective. Someone who's going to be playing once or twice a week, hopefully not more. If someone goes down with an injury, we got to cross our fingers on that. But really, we acquired Seby not to be this great hitter. We acquired him for his defensive prowess. He was elite in blocks above average and in framing, and we've even saw it in spring training, him throwing out guys left and right. And as far as the Zips projections for 2024, Seby Zavala is slated to have 282 plate appearances, a slash line of 188, 254, 579 for 8 home runs, a 62 WRC plus, and 0.3 FWAR. So really not a whole lot better. He's still going to be very below average on the offensive side, and his FWAR is pretty much only helped by his defensive prowess. As far as the backup catcher role goes, at the end of the day, he's going to be playing once or twice a week, although he's going to be potentially a black hole when he is playing on the offensive side. It kind of is what it is. You need a backup catcher for Cal. He needs those days off. The next bench player we're going to talk about is Dylan Moore, who is a veteran of the club at this point. 2023 was not great for Dylan Moore. He started the year on the injured list and he wasn't activated until the beginning of June. And once he was activated in June, we could see that it took a little while for him to heat up. We'll go over his stat line here of 165 plate appearances, a slash line of 207, 303, 731 for 7 home runs, a 105 WRC plus, and 0.7 FWAR. So the slash line is kind of whatever. He was only a bit below average of a league average hitter in WRC plus, which I think is kind of interesting because it certainly felt like he was struggling a lot, especially if you compare it to his last few seasons. He definitely had a rough time in 2023. But Dylan has the potential to be a pretty decent bat for our lineup, and his defensive versatility is great. He can play pretty much any position on the field other than pitcher and catcher. But what can we look forward to in 2024 for Dylan Moore? His Zips projections show a 296 plate appearances, a slash line of 219, 321, 723 for 10 home runs, a 105 WRC plus, and 1.3 FWAR. Basically, he's going to repeat last year for the most part. He has a lot more FWAR than I was kind of expecting, and I'm not sure if that goes for more the defensive side or not. But he's still going to be a little bit of a below league average hitter. The 10 home runs is kind of nice. I would like to see more pop from Dylan next year. And of course, if Dylan could maybe replicate his 2022 season where he had a 126 WRC plus, then I would be thrilled to have that on my bench. And we're going to move on to the last player that's projected to be on bench, and that's going to be Sam Haggerty. Last year, Hagerty was up and down between the majors and Tacoma. In 2023, he ended up having 108 plate appearances, a slash line of 253, 364, 705 for 1 home run, a 108 WRC plus, and 0.3 FWAR. So he had a bit of a worse season than Dylan Moore had last year. I'm hoping that he can bump that up a bit. He's closer to a league average hitter in WRC plus than Dylan is. I think he's going to have to take a pretty big step up, or I potentially don't even see him ending the year on this club. And that's mainly due to the fact that we have prospects that are pretty much knocking at the door for either this year or next year to come up and hopefully be impact player for us. But we'll get into his Zips projections for 2024. It says he's going to have 343 plate appearances, a slash line of 236, 311, 672 for 6 home runs, a 90 WRC plus, and 0.7 FWAR. So although he's going to improve a bit on his pop with 6 home runs, everything else is projected to take a bit of a dive. 90 WRC plus is pretty below league average at that point, and only 0.7 F4. That's probably just due to his defensive versatility. I hope that Dylan Moore or Sam Haggerty, or even both, can have decent seasons for us. I would love to see them thrive in Seattle for this year. However, the projections aren't really saying that's going to happen, but I'd love to know what you think of the current projected bench of Seby Zavala, Dylan Moore, and Sam Haggerty. You can comment down below. As always, you can like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. That's going to be it for me in this video. I will see you in the next one.